if you want to kick us off, Vern, that'd be great.
Excellent. Yes. Well, welcome back to Manhattan, everybody. I don't know how long you've been back, but I know you probably had at least a little summer off. So appreciate you guys all coming back and actually appreciate you being here this evening. So I believe you should have all received some information from Jacob with regard to what we're talking about, the post-game cleanings for football, volleyball, and basketball games at K-State, um, and some of the rules and regulations that surround that. And obviously, we've got one coming up pretty quickly, but the first three football games are at home, so fast and furious here. And there's three volleyball games even before that. So from that perspective, there's lots of opportunity here, and we'll go from there. Um, I'm just going to start going down kind of the bullet points of the notes that got sent out to all of you, and then make sure we clarify questions in the process here. So I'm going to start with football first. You all should have my contact information up there, vern.henricks@yahoo.com, and my cell phone at 785 Texting works really well for me. That way I kind of keep track of where it's coming from and when able to get back with you in a quick fashion from that standpoint. So looks like Jacob has thrown up that sheet document already here. So what we're doing here may be a little bit different this year, and still trying to figure that out a little bit for football. And that was not on this sheet when it was sent to you. K-State has decided to sell alcohol slash beer throughout the stadium this year, which means there's going to be a little heavier load on liquid cleanup and a little heavier load on recycling. Now, what will probably happen is, as I understand it, that recycling is really going to be limited to the world of aluminum cans, and if we want to do something with plastics, we can. But I'm still trying to hear back from the K-State Recycling Center to get some details there. But the organization that is actually taking all the waste products from the stadium is they're not basically recycling at all. So if we did anything, it would be over and above like we have in the past. And I just hate to throw everything in the dump. It seems like so. But the way it works is the first football game is a 6 o'clock game. So roughly about 10 o'clock, we'll send the first wave of people through there, and that wave will get the recycling or whatever we choose to do that night. And we have about an hour to do that, depending on the number of people. And then I have another student group called STUMO at Student Mobilization. They come through and get the trash products after the recycling, and then I have a group of community citizens and individuals that take care of the parking lots per se. So what we're looking for is individuals to do fundraising for their organizations for that first wave of getting the aluminum and plastics out of the stadium. There will be no paper products for recycling this year at all. And depending on the size of the group will depend on where you're assigned in the stadium, and and but everybody will be funded or taken care of at basically a 17 and a half an hour rate. And so with the idea that if we get everything done in an hour, you can pretty much kind of budget from your standpoint that you're going to get $17.50 per person for your activities. Um, if you get a section that I pretty much know is going to take you an hour, then I can basically say, okay, you're going to get X number of dollars. But if you come in here and don't know how many you're going to have, then I will probably wait until that night to decide some of this stuff in the process. So the biggest thing I need to know from groups are how many are going to show up, and make sure you give me the numbers that are going to show up. Don't tell me 20 and have 10 show up, because then we got problems. We have timing problems with that. And but don't tell me if you tell me 10 and have 20 show up. Obviously, it's going to take you half as much time, so you're not going to make 17 and a half an hour for everybody, because you won't have a full hour to work if you've only told me 10 are going to be there. So it's important to get real close to the number of workers you're going to have when you tell me, and I will certainly round up. I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. I will treat you fairly, but I just want to make sure that you're all communicating with me appropriately for those football games. You see the dates there. So the first game is really that Labor Day weekend, September 5, and then there's the 2 games after. What I typically will do is have you guys meet me on the southeast corner of the stadium, which is the Recreation Center or Jardine Complex corner of the stadium, and you just meet me inside Gate E. That is the gate, that location. You're not going to get into the game until the game's over with. So you get there early to try to avoid traffic. You can, just kind of wait outside, and don't try to come to the stadium through the parking lot, because the first 2 hours after the game, there'll be traffic going out, and they're not going to let anybody in the stadium for parking or anything like that. So you'll have to come in from the Jardine side, and to get into the stadium. So let me stop for a second with regard to football and entertain any questions somebody might have.
Will we get access to this document after this meeting?
So Jacob sent this document out to everybody, but I think this recording is going to go to everybody, and so you'll have this document too. But if you want this document, Jacob's got it to send it out to you.
Yes, to confirm, I'll be sending this out again in our newsletter, either this week or next week. I did send it in the chat as well, so you should be able to download it from there, but it will also be sent out alongside this recording in our newsletter in the coming weeks.
Okay. And then my question was on the sheet. It says October 10, 17, and 17. Is the 17 accidentally twice, or is it a separate date?
No, it's accidentally twice. My bad.
No worries.
Yeah, there's 7 home football games this year, 3 in September, 2 in October, and 2 in November. And what I would typically do is I would pay each organization at the end of the month, unless you're doing this for a fundraiser that requires your funds quicker than that. Please feel free to let me know that. But typically I would send checks out at the end of the month.
Where do volunteers park?
That is a great question. Wherever you can in that Jardine complex or streets over that area, it is that's the unfortunate situation, because the parking lots at the stadium, you're going to have to just find parking on your own, and game day parking is, I don't have a good feel for where that's at, but I know most people come in from the southeast corner, so wherever they find over there by the Jardine complex, or those areas on the streets, is the place to go. And certainly because of that, if you're coming as a group, if you can come in a car as a group, that would help out too. So
Perfect. Thank you.
So the first game is coming pretty close, and so I would need to know pretty quickly if you're interested, because otherwise I'm going to have to reach out to community members and fill those spots. And so any groups that want to work that first weekend, please get with me right away. this week it would be preferable, and we could go. I know you're probably going back and meeting with your student groups and stuff like that, but we need to organize here pretty quickly. So, any more football game questions? Okay, moving on to volleyball. So volleyball, it's a much simpler process. They have their own Morgan Family Complex for volleyball, which is just between the Bramlage Complex and the hospital over there. So the location to meet there is the south east corner as well. There's a garage door over on the southeast corner, which would be the south side, obviously. So it's kind of the back side of the Morgan Complex. And generally speaking, I only need 10 to 15 people for cleanups there. And it can vary a little bit depending on the game. So I need to know if you're coming, and the first game is there. Actually, it starts August the 28th. I thought it was going to be the 29th, but they've got a non-K-State game, the 28th, that they want me to help out with too. So I need help on the games of August 28th, 29th, and 30th. Typically, those cleanups maybe last an hour and a half, but sometimes they may be just an hour. So, and then you see the other dates there on the schedule. Any question? There's no recycling in that cleanup at all. Everything is cleanup, but it's a the facility is much smaller, so it goes pretty quick. But sometimes they have some promotion that they deal with some streamers and stuff like that, and so there may be some individual nights, but they do the student paper like they do for basketball games. So there's an element of student paper on the student side that requires some attention, but we usually get her done in an hour and a half or so when we do that. So, and here again, those games are coming up pretty quick. So if you're interested, I need to know very quickly. Any questions on volleyball?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is your estimate on the number of people as strict for volleyball as it is with football?
Well, not by group, because I need so many people. Now, if you're telling me that you've got a group of 15, I'll take the group of 15, and then we'll figure out how long it takes, but you'll still be paid $17.50 an hour. If you've got a group of 5, then I'll find, at least 5 or 10 more people to help out, and we'll combine groups.
Okay, thank you.
For all three of the sports, how long after kickoff time or the start time of a volleyball game should we tell our volunteers to show up?
So I will give you show up time every night for all of these, and for volleyball, the K-State asked for a report time of 2 hours after the game starts. So if it's a 6 p.m. start, I'll have you show up at 8 o'clock. Now, I'll say this, if in volleyball, it's 3 out of 5, you got to win 3 out of 5 games. If they win all 3 games or lose all 3 games, it's probably right at that 2-hour mark. If it goes into a 5th game or a 5th match, we may be sitting there for 45 minutes before we start cleaning, but you are paid for that. You are paid from report time till end time. So, but we just have to be prepared based on volleyball, and there are some games that will go 5 matches, and so we just have to be prepared for that.
Okay, thank you.
And in the men's, you mentioned all 3 sports. So men's and women's basketball, men I usually have come 2 hours and 15 minutes after tip off, and women it's usually 2 hours after tip off. And a lot of that is because of commercial lengths during the game and and just amount of commercials in general. So back to volleyball. Any more questions on volleyball? Okay, basketball. That's Bramlage Coliseum, and we will meet there. It's the only place that they don't have an entrance, so they don't allow the public entrance. So it is the southwest corner of Bramlage Coliseum. So I think the student entrance is the southeast corner. So the cleanup entrance is the southwest corner. Now, if you're in Bramlage, obviously you can meet over there anytime you want. If you're not in Bramlage, they're not going to let you in, even if you're a student on the southeast corner. If they do, then they weren't supposed to. So you need to come to the southwest corner, and you'll have to wait until the game is over with. So if you want to be in the facility, you need to come at least, I would say, by halftime or thereabouts. So they will let you in to watch the second half, and then you'll be inside, and then you can just meet afterwards. And then we just start cleaning. And here again, there's no recycling there. We start cleaning when the games are over with. But we got to let the crowd get out of there. And sometimes the visitors have crowds that hang around more than others. So we just have to be patient. And here again, if I tell you, whatever time I tell you to report, that's what time the clock starts to pay you. And you'll sign in on all of these events, for those things. So any questions on basketball? So back again, the pay is relative. It's $17.50 an hour rate per person, and I'm generous. I always round up when I can, and football's a little different because we know it's a full stadium, so I can plan ahead of time, and we pretty much know how long it's going to take, and I need to have it done within the hour 15 minutes. So I will have a lot of people helping out, because there's a wave of the process. The second and third games in football are 11 o'clock starts in the morning. So typically the crowd lingers in the parking lot, and they may eat dinner in the parking lot. So generally I'll even delay a little bit and not have the report time quite as early. But when it's a late night game, I generally try to get you there early, and so it's not so late when we get done. So generally that's at least a 10 p.m. report for the first game. One thing I also want to mention is your checks will come from my foundation, what's called the Make a Difference Foundation. So if you get a check to your organization, I need to make sure you give me the address that you want it sent to. And typically I would just give you I'd write the check to the name of the organization unless it's something different. So you need to make sure you provide all that stuff for me before you get started. Any questions on basketball?
We had a question in the chat about the group size for volleyball. Is it a fixed 10 to 15 people per group, or is it kind of more flexible than that?
No, I'll be very flexible, but if I have a group of 10 or 15 sign up, I'll probably just let you do it yourself as a group. If you're coming there as a group of more than 10, typically we can get it done. There are 15 sections in volleyball, so I'll try to keep it pretty concise there. But in basketball, it depends on the preseason games or the season as the team's going. If we have a good men's team this year and we're looking at 10,000 or above in attendance, I'll have probably 50, 60 people show up. my intent is that nobody will ever have to work more than 2 hours. So just keep that in mind as you're planning with your volunteers. And sometimes it may be as little as an hour in that process too. So. There's one question. If I sign up for 15 and unfortunately someone can't make it, I get it. If you sign up for 15 and 13 show up, not a problem. We still got to get it done. But don't sign up for 15 and have 5 show up, because that's a different answer as far as how long it's going to take then. So, and if your numbers are going to change, you got to give me at least 48 hours notice on those numbers so I can fill in the gap. More questions? How many of you are anticipating working the first game? I would be very curious as to a show of hands. Jacob, if you maybe take this down so I can see everybody, and if we could get a thumbs up, that would be interesting for me, just to see how much of an interest we actually have. I know we got 3 pages of people here, so. Not seeing many thumbs for that first game. See one. Give me there we go. Give me the look of the icon thumb. That's I can see that easier than just your screen. So, okay. It would help me too if you know already that you're planning to do this. If you could text me tonight that you're planning to do it with the approximate amount. I won't hold you to it yet, but if you can send me the approximate amount of workers that you would have, that would be great. And the other thing that would be helpful, regardless of whether you're working the first game or not, if you intend as a group to work any of these games, basketball, volleyball, or football, and you're going to be the contact, that would be helpful so that I could communicate with you if there's any changes. So give me your name, your cell phone number, and your email address. Those are all great. And if you know the address that you want the check sent to already, send that to me as well, because I'll just put all that on a spreadsheet, and it makes my life a little easier later on. So. More questions? So I have one bonus for you, irrelated to cleanups. We have an entity in town here. It's called the Community Cares Chest, that we tend to get free product throughout the year. Right now, I have 20,000 cans of 7 ounces of ginger ale that is free for the taking. And this ginger ale has got a 7-Up type taste to it. It's not a tart taste, it's more of a sweeter taste. If any of you want ginger ale, they come in cases of 24. It is free for the taking, and I would love to get it to you sooner than later. So again, just text me, and the location for pickup is on 15th and Fort Riley Boulevard. But if you want some, there is going to be somebody there at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Wednesday, and 1 to 3 p.m. every Wednesday. So even if you don't text me, if you show up, there'll be somebody there to help you take as much as you want. And again, that's every Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Wednesday, and 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Wednesday. And if that doesn't work for some reason and you want to get a substantial amount, text me and we can make arrangements to get you more, or get over there and get you set up. So
What do you think is the resale margin on this ginger ale?
well, you can't resell it. It was a gift to us. Now, I'm certainly not going to police it. So what you do with it is up to you. But I have no idea to be honest with you, you'd have to Google that. It's a 7-ounce can, and um, it's a free gift to you. It's got a best used by date of August, but it'll be good for a couple months after that. So we offer it to all the nonprofits in the area as well. So if you're interested, sooner than later to get it would be great. But I just thought of all of you guys having back to school functions. Might be a great opportunity to grab some free drinks for people.
If you
And
still have a lot after a while, I'm sure you could donate to Cat's Cupboard.
Cat's Cupboard is one of the group on the list that we notify, and they had a bunch of stuff, but they're one of the groups that come over on Wednesday, and Shelly and I are good friends, and so I've told her about it too. So we would definitely love to get a lot over there as well. So bread basket, we give them quite a bit too. I think I got 10 pallets left, and I got 19 pallets in a couple weeks ago. So it's going, but I want to make sure it gets used here as quickly as possible while it's still got the best freshness state. So what can I do for you guys? What questions? What have we missed? Jacob, what's the next step?
yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have anything specific. I'll plug our Week of Welcome events that are happening the rest of the week. We'll have lunch on the plaza on Wednesday here at Bosco Plaza, right next to the Union. Um, Thursday night we'll have Activities Carnival in the Union. Student org check-in will start around 5. And then you can fill out our RSVP form on Org Central for that to get a table for your organization. I believe the deadline for that is tomorrow at noon. And then Friday we'll have International Block Party again out on Bosco Plaza. And that has live music and free food trucks. You'll just need to bring your student ID with you. Um, but yeah, it looks like as I was saying that we got some more questions. Addison wants to know, is the parking the same for volleyball and basketball?
Obviously, the volleyball, well, both of them, the parking lot is big enough that you can definitely park in the parking lot. The issue for basketball again is traffic moving out. So you're still going to have to come in from that southeast corner for basketball, the student side entrance. For volleyball, that's not an issue so much. So you can probably get in there before traffic, and I don't think they'll stop you for volleyball traffic. So, and then you can just park on the north side of Morgan volleyball facility.
Awesome. And then the other question we got was, is there a limited amount of cleanups that they're able to attend?
Nope. First come, first serve. And here's what I'll tell you guys is particularly the month of November, there's probably, I didn't look at the schedule. Well, I can look at it pretty quickly here. So there's 5 women's games. And between October and November, there are 6 men's games. Keep in mind, we got 2 football games and we've got volleyball games in there. So November is a crazy month. And if you guys, that is the best time because there's so many events. The attendance isn't quite as large, particularly basketball. it's the easiest ones to work, and it's where I'm always trying to get students to help. So a lot of times you all as groups don't get really organized until after the first of the year, and then I don't know the schedules yet, but when you come back second semester, there is a limited number of games left, and so trying to make some of your money before Christmas or before Thanksgiving is much more palatable than trying to wait till the very end when you're a little more desperate. Because I have had to turn some groups away because we've had so many people already sign up at that time. So be organized, get your groups organized, and try to make some of this money in the fall if you can.
Awesome. Well, that's everything I had kind of planned for this session. As we kind of said, the recording of this will be sent out alongside the information that Vern shared today in our newsletter. So you'll just be on the lookout to your student email with that information. And then, especially with those early games, it looks like there's quite a few in the next, week and a half. Just make sure you reach out to Vern as soon as you have an estimate of how many people will be able to help with those games. But beyond that, Vern, if you don't have anything else, I think that's everything I had.
Just one more quick reiteration. If you know you're going to work, no matter, and you don't know your numbers yet, but if you know you're going to work for that first football game, please let me know. And it would also be helpful if you felt like you were going to work anytime during the year. Please send me that email or that text with your name, your organization name, your cell phone, your email address, so that I just get that on the spreadsheet. It just makes life easier. So, all right, thank you guys. Appreciate your interest in doing this.